Good morning and good evening to all. Thank you all for joining the session of Swadhyay. So, this is the 17th session of Swadhyay, and today's speaker is none other than Deepali Sagade. As you all know, she is very active in the BEHF Pune and spreading the meditation and in all schools, centers. She herself conducts online so many sessions. Currently, also some 41-day session according to Sir's wish she is conducting. So, all the best and welcome to Dipali for the session on spiritual journey of Paramahansa Yogananda and his teachings.
Thank you, Rashmiji, for welcoming and giving opportunity on this platform. So today, I'm going to tell you about my learning from the book Autobiography of a Yogi. So welcome all to this session. You all have the desire of knowledge, I know. So that's why you all are here. Actually, Yogananda means bliss through yoga. So just we will learn about Yogananda Paramahansa. The Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda was first published in 1946 and has since become a much loved and admired book around the world. So many people inspired through this book and they got inspired and learned so many things from the book. So it is the one of the 100 best spiritual books of the century. For more than 75 years, this book has influenced spiritual seekers all over the world, not only in India. The book has been translated into almost, I think, 50 languages. From its headquarters in Los Angeles, the Self Realization Fellowship continues to further Yogananda's teachings today. In this book, Yogananda tells the story of his life, beginning with his childhood and family, his early interest in seeking God, and his relationship with his spiritual master. So, when he met his master Sri Yukteswar Giri, then he became a monk. His spiritual understanding matured, and in 1917, Yogananda founded both a school and a spiritual organization, Yogoda Satsang Society of India. In India, so many places, in so many cities, we can see the Yogoda Satsang Society ashram, and they are spreading the wisdom all over the world and India also. 3 years later, after 1917, 3 years later, he went to United States where he founded the Self-Realization Fellowship, SRF. From that point until he died in 1952, Yogananda dedicated himself to bringing knowledge of Indian spirituality to the Western and primarily by teaching the Kriya Yoga technique in Western countries, mostly in USA. One of Yogananda's goals was to present Indian spiritual philosophy and techniques in practical, scientific terms that would appeal to his Western audience. This book shares many inspiring stories from the life of Paramahansa Yogananda, the saints and spiritual masters he met during his spiritual journey. Many of these Many of these stories describes extraordinary experiences such as miraculous healing, divine visions, and insights about future events. I think so many of you have must have read this book. In TOT, sir also suggested this book. It is the first book. It was suggested to all of the participants to read this book. So all of you must have read it. But still, I am just summarize some important points and I am sharing that. Yogananda explains these experiences as a signs that everything in the universe is deeply connected. Through these stories, he encourages spiritual speakers. Encourages spiritual seekers to discover their true self. Yogananda Paramahansa was born on January 5th, 1893. His birth name was Mukundalal Ghosh. He was born in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, into a Bengali Hindu family. His father, Bhagwati Charan Ghosh, was a senior railway officer. Because of his father's job, the family moved to different cities because he was having transfer different cities, and that's why they have to move from so many places. Through the stories of the Ramayana and Mahabharata, Mukunda learned many important values, life lessons, and disciplines from his mother. Mukunda learned an important lesson from his father that never accept or believe anything immediately. Instead of think carefully, understand it properly, and then take a decision. How we understand this learning? Just because once um, her mother was like she was always giving, helping others, giving donations to needy people. So that time, once she was asking for money to her husband Bhagwati, and he immediately said no. Then later he thought, and then he again gave the money. So through that, Mukunda learned that this important lesson that don't believe immediately, just think carefully, understand what is the actual need, and then you can make the decision. So during his childhood, a few incidents involving his sister made Mukunda realize that whatever he prayed for or spoke of often came true. Means when he was when he was in the kite race, playing the kite race with his sister, at that time whatever he spoke that came true. Even one hand medical emergency like that, not emergency we can say, but hand injury that came true when he spoke to her sister. So this way he realized that everyone should be very, very careful about their thoughts and the words they speak. We always know the power of thoughts and power of speech. So we should be always careful about that. For a very young age, Mukunda showed a deep interest in spirituality and had many extraordinary spiritual experiences. When he was even 11 years old, his mother passed away, and that time also he got intuition and like vision also that her mother is leaving them. He and his father was not with her mother, and he got that vision, and he told his father, but he didn't believe. And after next day it happened. So before her death she left him a scared amulet that had been given to her by a holy saint, who said that Mukunda would keep it for few years before it mysteriously disappeared. His brother Ananta told Mukunda about a message from their mother. She had shared that when Mukunda was a baby, Lahari Mahashay was her guru, and both of his parents were devotees of the Guru Lahari Mahashay. And Lahari Mahashay had told her that your son will become a yogi. He was a small baby. That time the future was told about him that your son will become a yogi. So that's why Ananta tried to stop Mukunda from going to the Himalayas when Mukunda and his friend attempted to run away without informing anyone, as he was worried that he might leave the family at a young age. Mukunda traveled across India in search of so many enlightened saints, spiritual masters. He was very much eager to know himself, self realization, and he was just very much eager to meet God. He wanted to experience that samadhi state also. He met many well known yogis and sages, hoping to find a true guru who could guide him on his spiritual journey. Each of them had a unique spiritual abilities. One saint could appear in two places at the same time. Another could produce beautiful natural fragrance. A third was known for fighting tigers without fear. And another could rise above the ground while meditating. All these are extraordinary experiences. All this is told in the book. Yogananda has written all this in his book. So Mukunda also visited the famous Indian scientist Jagdish Chandra Bose, who invented a scientific instrument used to measure the growth of plants. This research suggested, that plants are living beings and can respond to the surroundings in a way similar to other forms of life. Plants also have a consciousness and emotion. So we should be sensitive with them. This is my learning. Later, Mukunda went to the temple of goddess Kali. During this visit, he gained a deeper understanding of the Divine Mother and her spiritual significance. One day, Mukunda met Sri Yukteswar Giri, who later became his spiritual teacher. When he met him first time, that time he said, after some days you come at ashram, not now. And in 1910, he became a disciple of Sri Yukteswar Giri and trained under him for the next 10 years at his ashram in Serampur and Puri. This Serampur was close to his hometown Calcutta. And see, he was just going to Himalayas across India. He traveled to find true guru for him. But actual his guru, his teacher, he was just nearby his hometown. So Mukunda spends a lot of time at Sri Yukteswar Giri Ashram, Serampur, near Calcutta. As he was not interested in his studies, his teacher asked him to complete his studies for his future. So he joined the college. Under his teacher's guidance, he grows spiritually and makes great progress. Sri Yukteswar teaches him the ancient practice of Kriya Yoga. We all know Kriya Yoga. Nowadays, we are not practicing Kriya Yoga, but ancient time that was taught by Yukteswar Giri to Paramahansa Yogananda. Kriya Yoga is the main heart of Yogananda's spiritual teaching. It is an ancient meditation technique that helps a person experience a deeper connection with God. The word yoga means union, and this union is with the divine. And the word kriya comes from the Sanskrit word kri, which means to act or to do. Through the regular practice of Kriya Yoga, a person can progress on the spiritual path and move closer to God realization. This care technique was passed down through great spiritual masters. Like Mahavatar Babaji taught Kriya Yoga to Lahari Mahashaya, who taught it to his disciple Sri Yukteswar Giri. Sri Yukteswar Giri then taught it to his disciple Paramahansa Yogananda. And Paramahansa Yogananda who introduced Kriya Yoga to the people around the world. So my understanding from the book of Kriya Yoga is it is a special breathing technique that increases prana, life force energy in the body and helps to go within. So this Kriya Yoga consists of self-discipline, mental control and meditation. Mukunda also witnesses many extraordinary abilities of his teacher. Means he made the different gurus, and that time he experienced that different abilities of the so many sages and saints in India. But he was witnesses of his teacher also. So Sri Yukteswar can predict future events, like he was getting visions. He can heal sick people. As the story continues, miracles, spiritual vision, healing, and the special bond between a teacher and disciple become important themes. So Mukunda also learned an important lesson. This is very important for all of us also. That spiritual powers should never be used for selfish or wrong purpose. Sri Yukteswar had a unique way of his teachings for his disciples. He would carefully point out even small mistakes and explain them in detail so that his students could learn and grow spiritually and practical life also. Mukunda was very eager to know God, as I said, from his childhood. He was regularly doing meditation for this. So whenever he was getting time, he was just sitting for meditation and he was praying to the God. He kept asking his guru, Yukteswar Giri, also to help him attend this experience of God realization. However, his guru was not yet ready. So, out of anger and disappointment, he left the ashram. One day, he left the ashram. Again, he wanted to go to the Himalayas, again in the search of self realization. During this journey, he met Ram Gopal, and Ram Gopal Muzumdar told him, "You will receive this experience only through your Guru. The Himalayas alone cannot help you attain self realization on the state of Samadhi. So, these mountains will not help you. You have to go back." Later, he returned to the ashram, and after a few days, his Guru finally blessed him with the experience of enlightenment. So, that experience you know, for him it was really amazing, but after that immediate experience his teacher said, let's do the cleaning and just come back on the physical world where we are living right now. So we have to be practical in our practical life. We should not be in the state of continuously in that enlightenment state and everything. So, this way, Yukteswar Giri won the hearts and minds and souls of all his students and people. Sri Yukteswar Giri told him that great master Mahavatar Babaji had sent him for a special mission to spread the science of yoga and meditation around the world. Means he told Yogananda that Yogananda has the mission to spread the science of yoga and meditation around the world. Yogananda shares an important lesson that he learned from his guru. One day, his guru said, I follow strict discipline, that those who come to learn from me, that is my way. Means either this way or this way. So I said, no. If someone does not like it, they are free to leave. I do not change my principles, but your way will be different. You will guide your students with love, kindness, and compassion. So he was no, yeah, sorry, he knew Paramahansa Yogananda that he is very kind and he will teach this way. His way of teaching will be different than him. So it's not like that. So students should be same like a guru. So the different ways can be there. I help people grow through strict discipline. Many ordinary students find it difficult and may leave. However, love and gentleness can bring about the same transformation. Both strictness and kindness are effective when we used wisely and at the right time. Then Sri Yukteswar added, one day you will travel to foreign countries. People there may not accept harsh criticism of their ego. If you want to spread India's spiritual wisdom in the Western countries, you must learn to understand other people's point of view. So, you will also need patience, determination, and great tolerance. So, Yogananda later wrote in that book, wrote in Autobiography of a Yogi. When I traveled to America, I remembered my Guru's word many times. So all that words was from his Guru, and he always remembered his Guru's word that you must learn to understand other people's point of view. You will also need patience, determination, and great tolerance. In 1915, after completing his college education in Serampur College, he took a arts degree and Mukunda took formal vows as a monk with Sri Yukteswar Giri's blessings. He received the name Swami Yogananda Giri. A Swami is a person who strives to become one with their true self. The name Yogananda means, as I said earlier, bliss through yoga. So in 1917, Yogananda started a school for boys in West Bengal where modern education was combined with yoga, meditation, and spiritual values. A year later, the school moved to Ranchi. This school later became the Yogoda Satsang Society of India, YSS, which continues the teachings of Yogananda's in India. And the sister organization of this Yogoda Satsang Society is Self-Realization Fellowship in United States. In 1920, while meditating in his school, Yogananda had a powerful spiritual vision. So, in that experience, he saw the faces of many people from other country, United States, and felt that he would soon travel there and he had to teach spiritual wisdom over there. After this, he handed over his responsibilities of school to teachers and he went to Kolkata. The very next day, he received an invitation from the American Association to represent India at the International Congress of Religious Liberals in Boston. So he was not that confident. So he was not making his decision. He asked his guru, Sri Yukteswar Giri, for guidance. And his guru encouraged him to accept the invitation. And while praying deeply in his room, Yogananda again had one experience, extraordinary experience, that Mahavatar Babaji, the great master, appeared before him and told him that he had been chosen to spread the techniques of Kriya Yoga in the Western world. That was earlier, it was told by his guru also. But in here, Mahavatar Babaji himself told him, gave the guidance. This gave Yogananda complete confidence and he decided to travel to America. In 1920, Yogananda sailed to United States on ship. After 2 months journey, that time ship journey was also very slow. After 2 months journey, he arrived near Boston in September. While on ship also, he gave one speech. That time also, he was little bit not confident speaking in English. But that time, just that all the spiritual wisdom came through him. So that time he surrendered to the universe, the God, and the wisdom came through him. Later that year, he founded the Self Realization Fellowship to share the ancient wisdom of yoga, meditation, and India spiritual philosophy with people around the world. And in October, he spoke at the International Congress where his speech was warmly appreciated. Means for that only he went there. So then Yogananda spent the next 4 years in Boston giving lectures and teaching meditation. In 1924, he began a lecture tours across America. Thousands of people attended his speeches and were inspired by his message. Later, he established the international headquarters of the Self-Realization Fellowship in Los Angeles, California. This became the main center of his spiritual work. So, Yogananda was the first Hindu yoga and spiritual teacher to spend a major part of his life teaching in America. He lived there from 1920 to 1952. In between 1 year, he again came to India. Through his students and followers, he established many temples, meditation centers around the world. So in 1935, Yogananda again returned to India with his two students. His main purpose was to meet his guru and to established the work of the Yogoda Satsang Society in India also. When he arrived in Mumbai, many photographers, journalists came to welcome him as he was very well-known person in America. After traveling by train to Kolkata, he received a grand welcome in Howard Station also. So Yogananda then traveled to ashram and he had a joyful and emotional reunion with his beloved guru, Sri Yukteswar Giri. During his visit, he was also happy to see that his school, how had become an officially recognized institution. While in India, Yogananda met many inspiring people. He met Mahatma Gandhi and introduced him to Kriya Yoga. He also met the Saint Anandamayi Ma, Giribala, a yogini who was believed to live without food, the famous scientist Sir C.V. Raman, and several disciples of Lahari Mahashaya also. During this visit, Sri Yukteswar Giri gave Yogananda the spiritual title Paramahansa, which means Supreme Swan. This title is given to a highly realized spiritual master and represents the highest level of spiritual attainment. In March 1936, after Yogananda returned to Kolkata from a visit to Vrindavan, Yukteswar Giri left his physical body. He vacated his body at his ashram. He took Mahasamadhi. So later, Yogananda spent few more months in India for teaching. He met his friends and gave spiritual guidance, and again he returned to America. Yogananda later described in Autobiography of a Yogi his extraordinary spiritual experiences of his guru. He had a vision also, and he experienced the presence of his guru in a living physical form. And during this sacred meeting, Sri Yukteswar explained that he was now guiding souls from a high astral world. He also spoke about the astral universe, life after death, karma, the different bodies of the soul, and many other spiritual truths. So in October 1936, Yogananda returned to United States and continued giving lectures, writing books, established meditation centers across Southern California. He began living in the Self Realization Fellowship Hermitage in California. This beautiful hermitage was a gift from his devotee disciple. It was here that Yogananda wrote this book, The Autobiography of a Yogi. And along with many other books and spiritual writings he did there. And during this time, he built a strong foundation for the work of SRF and YSS. He officially became a citizen of the United States in 1949. And during the last 4 years of his life, he was focused on completing his books, revising his earlier writings, and preparing spiritual lessons for future generations. He gave only few public talks during this period. He once told his close disciples, I can do much more now to reach people through my writing only. So, as time passed, Yogananda gently hinted to his close disciples that he would soon leave his physical body. And on March 7, 1952, in the yogic tradition, this is known as Mahasamadhi, the consciousness and peaceful departure he has done. According to the director of the mortuary where his body was kept, Yogananda body showed no visible signs of decay for about 3 weeks. His face remained peaceful, unchanged, and there was no noticeable odor also. So that director described it as one of the most extraordinary cases he had ever seen. So I will go with teachings of Yogananda. So, this was the summary of his life. And Yogananda wrote two important books. The second, Coming of Christ, and God Talks with Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita. Through these books, he explained that the original teachings of Christ and Lord Krishna share the same spiritual truths. He believed that the core message of Christianity and yoga is the same. According to Yogananda, all true religions are based on the same universal spiritual principles. He clearly explained the mission and purpose of the Self Realization Fellowship and the Yogoda Satsang Society. So, what are his main teachings? He shared simple, practical meditation technique that help people experience God directly. Yogananda clearly explained that the true purpose of life is to grow spiritually and realize our divine nature through our own sincere efforts. He encouraged a simple lifestyle and high thinking, and love, respect, and brotherhood among all people. So everyone should realize that everyone is the part of same one divine family. Also, his teaching is the mind is more powerful than the body and the soul is greater than the mind. But what we do, we create our mind greater, and that's why we suffer a lot. He told us that science and spirituality are not opposed to each other, but are based on the same universal truths. In his spiritual course, the Self Realization Fellowship lessons, Yogananda gave detailed guidance on meditation and practice of Kriya Yoga. So, what is self realization? Means knowing through your body, mind, soul that you are one with God who is present everywhere. So, Yogananda encouraged people to experience this spiritual truth for themselves instead of accepting it through blind belief. He said that the real foundation of religion is personal experience, not just faith. Following the traditional techniques of Hinduism, following the traditional techniques of Hinduism, Yogananda taught that the entire universe is like God's cosmic movie. We all are actors in this divine play, and through reincarnation, we keep changing one life to another. And we, in this drama, in this play, in this movie, we just forget that we are soul. And instead of remembering this true identity as the soul and their connection with God, we are attached to our temporary role. When a person remembers God, the director of this divine play, they can rise above suffering and experience true freedom. So, how to achieve this? The answer through my learning from this book. Whatever prayers, so now these are my learning, whatever I have learned from this autobiography of a yogi. So, how to achieve this? Whatever prayers or words or what we speak can come true. So, thoughts are like a radio waves, it reaches to universe. So, everyone should be very careful about what they think and say. And for this self introspection, means quietly observing your own thoughts is very, very much important. So every action has consequences, and so always choose the right action. So through thoughts, through speak, and through action, we should do the right things, right dharma. The practical application of knowledge in your life is more important than just learning in a theory. That's what I learned. A person should remain calm, peaceful in every situation, and even during moments of great joy, a person should remain balanced. When the mind becomes calm, inner guidance arises. And when the one should listen to the voice of our own self, own inner self. that is intuition. A person's physical strength depends on their mental strength. So, a true researcher means, as told, that we should experiment. So, and we should do the research. So, a true researcher knows that the real laboratory is the human's mind. And by exploring the mind, one can go beyond illusion and discover the unchanging laws of truth. In our life, joy and sorrow continue to exist in the world. But during difficult times, a wise person remembers the eternal truth and remains steady. So, the highest truth of every human being is the realization that I am the soul. In the waking state, we are aware of our body and our breath. But in the state beyond breath, we become aware of our soul. So, the soul is eternal, it is never born, never dies. When a person experiences this self realization through meditation, the fear of death and of life after death disappears. And when person realizes that the same divine essence exists in everything, that experience feeling of oneness with all. So we feel that everyone is same. The center of the entire universe is within ourselves. God created human beings from the bliss that exists within. So, meditation is the scientific method that unites the individual soul, Jivatma, and the supreme soul, Paramatma. We call it God. So, our dharana, concentration, and our dhyan, meditation, form the foundation of yogic science. By mastering the body and mind, a person can help the soul progress towards higher awareness. When Yogananda experienced that God realization with his guru, Sri, that time Sri Yukteswar Giri advised him not to become attached to that spiritual experience. Instead, he told to move on, move forward, and serve the world. So, through meditation, a person may develop spiritual abilities. The third eye allows a person to pursue deeper truths, understand the universal reality, and other spiritual abilities. But in the same way, like manifestation also, in the same way as Yukteswar Giri told, meditator should not become attached to spiritual experience or develop spiritual pride. We should understand our purpose of life and dedicate ourselves to serving others by sharing the knowledge of meditation. So, the path of this liberation through love, wisdom, right judgment, and selfless service. And when any person realizes this universal consciousness, the illusion of the materialistic world naturally disappears. Our physical desires arises from the ego, attachment to sense pleasures. But the attraction of worldly pleasures is often stronger than the desire of liberation, moksha. Means the attraction of pleasure is often stronger than the desire of liberation. So we should make it stronger. What we should make stronger? The desire of liberation. Only when all physical actions, desires, ambitions, and attachments are completely dissolved, then can the soul permanently remain in the higher spiritual realm. Those whose karma are still unfinished continue to the reborn and move between earth and the afterlife journey until their karmas are completed. When a person becomes pure within, they gain the ability to create positive change around them. So you can practice sadhana anywhere to realize God while living in the life of householder. There is no need to go to a special place. So by doing all these, implementing all the things in our practical life, the soul can become free and attain liberation. This is my learning from this book. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Deepali ji. It was a wonderful summary, such a transformative book to the world, and you have summarized in 45 to 50 minutes. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now it is open to question answer. If anyone would like to ask, please raise your hand.
If anyone have questions, you may raise your hand. Hey, I think I told complete summary and what to do, so no one has questions.
Yes. Generally, we have Dr. Haripriya will bring out so many questions.
Okay,
Today she's silent. Dr. Haripriya, you have
okay.
anything?
Yeah, if anyone want to
Good
share
evening,
also.
masters.
Good evening, good evening.
Thank you, Deepali ma'am. It was so wonderful. No words. So much of gratitude only because I can feel so much of energy just by listening to your speech today. I think I'll be listening this again and again. Rashmi ji will be sharing the recording, no? So definitely I'll be listening two or more times. So much, it is like almost meditating only. I was having so much of energy flow.
Yeah,
Wonderful experience, ma'am.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, no questions at all. Thank you
Actually,
so
I
much.
have that fourth edition of this book.
Uh-huh.
Means earlier, first time when I read this book, na, that time before I came into this meditation path. Later, when Pradeep sir assigned us na, that reading this book first time,
Yeah.
first book, that time again I read that book. That time the different understanding came. And
Mm,
after this, when the session was planned with Rashmi ma'am, then I got this book from one of my friend Poonam Murankan. She is in the group. So this is so fourth edition of this book. And
okay.
it's a huge book, almost 750 pages. So I could not cover all the main important things I covered. But in detail, it's too vast, and it's too much learning from this book, really.
Yeah, you have prepared it meticulously. So much of information is there.
Yeah, but still, I
So,
thought that I had not given enough justice to the book.
okay. Nice, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We have Bhuvaneshwari ji also uh, appreciating your explanation. Really beautifully explained. Deep gratitude to you. Yeah, it felt like someone's telling the story, like to the baby who was taking a baby step. We felt like that, a mother telling, slowly what you have to do. Liberation is the most important desire. Very beautifully
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
explained.
it
The way
should be,
you
it
have
should be.
sectioned it, very nice, very nice.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you, ma'am. Yes,
So, if there are no more questions, we shall end the session.
yes,
Thank you
yes,
all for
yes,
joining and adding your energies. Yeah,
yes. Thank you,
everyone
ma'am.
is, yeah. Thank you for messages from Poonam ji, Bhuvaneshwari ji. Thank you.
Jungle said also.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks.
thank you, thank you. Yeah,
Thanks.
bye.
Good night. Take care.
Bye.